75 hard was to build you physical grit and mental toughness. 66 rewire is actually trying to build who you want to become. What type of person do you want to be? Do you want to be somebody that can regulate their emotions? Do you want to be somebody that can be trusted? Do you want to be somebody that can be counted on in a tough situation? Who are you trying to be? Not what are you trying to be, who are you trying to be? What is going on, my friend? Thank you for joining me on the 23rd episode of What's Your One Thing? And today, I'm filling up your cup. I'm filling up your cup like you should be filling up your tires with air. That's right, I'm coming at you like that dashboard alarm that you've been ignoring for the last 3 weeks. Except for this, you're not going to. And when I'm done, not only are you going to be filled up, you're going to go fill up your goddamn tires, okay? Safety first, people. Roads are getting slick out there. And just like when you don't fill up your tires, you get bad gas mileage. A lot of negative things happen when you ignore regular scheduled maintenance. And that's what we're going to cover today. We're going to cover some regular scheduled maintenance that most of us, including me, have been ignoring. All right, let's break into this episode. Okay. For the last couple of weeks, I've been working through this self-built program to try to help myself do the things that I'm preaching. Set some goals, journal, reflect, and it got me thinking that it's very similar to this challenge called 75 Hard. 30-second breakdown. Basically, this program for 75 days, you have to work outside and inside 45 minutes each, so 2 workouts. You have to adhere to a strict diet of your choosing. You have to drink a gallon of water. You have to read at least 10 pages a day of a nonfiction book and no alcohol. So pretty clear-cut pass-fail challenge. And that is really good for physical grit, for mental grit, mental toughness. And I really liked that idea. I really liked setting these high goals and this really hard obtainable challenge where not everybody is able to do it. I wanted to create something like that, but for personal development. So I came up with a system that in beta right now, I'm calling 66 Rewire. And the reason why I'm going with 66 is because contrary to popular belief, it takes more than 21 days or 30 days to build a new habit or break an old one. 21 days is just more of a sexy name. It's more of a, hey, I can get you those abs by the end of the month. Is a lot better than saying, hey, I can get you those abs by the end of first quarter. There are more studies to the 66 days versus the 21-6. So what is 66 Rewire? 66 Rewire, similar to 75 Hard, just break things down into these 5 core elements. So we're gonna go through those 5, and I know the show is called What's Your One Thing, and I'm gonna throw a lot at you today. For this week, all I want you to do is just pick one. That's it. If you want to, if you're overzealous and you're like, Jordan, I got this, go for more. But I can tell you after trying it for a couple of weeks, I'm not even hitting 5. I'm getting about 3. But once I'm in a solid 3 for a couple of days or a couple of weeks, I'm going to add another one. And then I'll add one more. And then hopefully I'll have that core 5. And by the end of my 66 days, I'm really just looking for one of these to be a new habit. So let's go through it. Number 1 is prime your day. 66 Rewire is actually trying to build who you want to become. What type of person do you want to be? Do you want to be somebody that can regulate their emotions? Do you want to be somebody that can be trusted? Do you want to be somebody that can be counted on in a tough situation? Who are you trying to be? Not what are you trying to be, who are you trying to be? So 1, prime your day, prime your environment. We're going to start with that question. What type of person am I? So it's, I am the type of person that blank. You fill it in. I am the kind of person who wakes up early to work out. I am the type of person who helps out more around the house. I am the type of person who spends time with my kids. What are you trying to embody? It's one thing to just think it. It's another thing to write it down. So that's the first thing. How do you prime your environment? How do you prime your day? Start off with that prompt. I am the type of person who blank. Now we're going to follow up that with the second prompt, and that is, what's one thing that would make today a win? Instead of going through your whole day and getting to the end and not feeling like you accomplished a whole lot, you might have had a whole list of to-do items or a project to finish, But without actually setting that up at the beginning of the day, you really are not aligning yourself to a vision. So think about it. What is one thing that you could do today that would make it a win? It could be simple. It could be finishing that project. That's great. Write it down. That's your win for the day. Or it could be, I'm going to spend less time on my phone. I'm going to not go on social media on my lunch break. That would be a win. Okay? Whatever that means to you. These aren't meant to take an hour. You know, this prime your morning should take about 15 minutes, maybe even less. So you've got your first one. I am the type of person who blank. What would make today a win? And then the last prompt to prime your morning is a 3-minute visualization or breath work. Now, for those of you that aren't familiar with breath work, that's fine. I think most people get the concept of visualization. Not a lot of people do it, but you get the concept. So let's start off easy. You've already written down what would make today a win. Now let's just visualize it. Pull your phone out, set a timer for 3 minutes, and just close your eyes and breathe. Put it in your head that that thing has already happened. What does it look like? What does it sound like? What does it smell like? Who's there? What are you doing? Are you happy? Are you satisfied? Just sit there and just be in that moment for 3 minutes. That's it. That's all you have to do. Now, some of these things that I say sound woohoo or they sound out there and it's crazy, but until you actually sit down and try to do some of this visualization work, I can't even describe to you what it does emotionally, physically. It's awesome. It's very cool. And you can have some very deep personal experiences in these 3 minutes. And I'm saying that from experience. Okay, that is how you prime your morning. That's it. You've got those prompts. Going to step 2. Again, I know it's going to be a lot, but you only have to pick one of these. Going to step 2, that is break a pattern. What is something that you do every day that is just habitual? It's a routine. This strategy is to get you off of autopilot, to stop thinking and doing everything subconsciously to consciously. For me, I am breaking a pattern by I am a terrible speller. So if I am typing an email, if I'm writing something for work, a social media post, I have a lot of those red lines underneath the words. And normally what I do is I just right click. I'm close enough where spell check works. Go ahead, click that word, move on with my life. I'm actually trying to break that frame, break that pattern of telling myself that I'm a bad speller. No, I am getting better. So what do? Spell something wrong, I go back and try again. I still don't get it right, I go back and I try it again. I'll do that 2, 3, 4, maybe even 5 times. And if I still can't get it, I will right click, see how to do it correctly, and then I will physically type it out. I am not using autocorrect anymore. I'm trying to break this pattern to give myself a new identity. That's it. Number 2, break a pattern. Again, it doesn't have to be that specific. It could be take a different route to work, react differently to a situation out of the norm than what you would normally do. Again, this is to wake up your mind to how much you run on autopilot and to start bringing some of those subconscious things to the conscious mind, because what we're trying to do is we're trying to rewire patterns, okay? And how to prime the brain is to already break up some of these patterns that it's already running. Let's go to number 3. That might be my favorite. This is the micro adversity. In life, things are going to happen. Not everything's going to go your way. And it's almost more important on how you handle those adversities than how you celebrate wins. It's how you get over the challenge that tells you more about yourself and tells other people more about you. So giving yourself these little micro adversities, some little small act of doing something that needs to be done, but you don't want to do, helps you build that muscle for adversity, for these challenges that are going to undoubtedly come your way. This could be something like having a tough conversation that needs to be done. This could be finishing a project that you've put on the back burner that, yes, it's not timely, but it is important. So getting something done that needs to be done that you're avoiding. A little micro adversity. I've really been doing this one and honing new skills, and just, it makes you feel alive because you're doing something out of your comfort zone. Perfect. Okay, that brings us to number 4. Mark Kumacek, this is your 14.4 moment, my friend. Okay, your 1% daily goal, or your 1% mover. This is taking 14 minutes and 24 seconds to work towards achieving your goal. Now, this could be a big goal, this could be a small goal, but you need to have a goal and you need to set aside 14 minutes and 24 seconds to work towards that goal, whatever it might be. Are you trying to write a book? Are you trying to get a promotion? Are you trying to save for a vacation? Whatever it is, you can dedicate 14.24 seconds. Why? Because that is literally 1% of your day, 24 hours. That's all it is. If you can't dedicate that to your goal, are you ever going to achieve it? It's unlikely. And 1% might not sound like a lot, but for most of you, you're going to spend more than that 14 minutes and 24 seconds on it. That's going to carry into 30 minutes, maybe even an hour. But you know what? If it doesn't, if you just hit that minimum requirement, that is 14 more minutes and 24 seconds than you had done or would have done without it. So let's get moving towards accomplishing your goals by actually setting that time up beforehand. That is your 1% daily mover or 1% goal attainment. Lastly, that brings us to number 5 for the core of this 66 rewire, and that is your reflections. Just how we prime your day with these prompts in the morning, we are going to prime our brain, or we're going to reflect back on the evening or on the day. Number 1, what made today a win? What went well today? Did you accomplish that goal? Did something spontaneous happen? Anything could make a day a win. This is all up to you. This is internal. How are you growing as a person? Now, just like what made today a win, what went wrong or what could have went differently? So not every day is sunshine and rainbows. Obviously, we have setbacks. A lot of things could be, you didn't get that promotion at work, or somebody cut you off in traffic and you were trying to be good and you ended up giving them the finger. Just whatever it was, something went wrong. What could have went differently? Let's think about it, reflect on it, write it down. And then last, might be my second favorite after the adversity, is did you live up to your values? Did I live up to my values today? And this might sound very ambiguous. And this was tough in the beginning because if you don't know what values you're trying to embody, it's really hard to say yes or no to this. But deep down internally, you know. You can't kid yourself around it. I mean, you can lie. You can say, oh yeah, I totally lived up to my values. And one of your values is I'm going to be a nicer person. And you spend an hour screaming at your kids, or you did something outside of what you are trying to tell yourself. Now, this is how a lot of people live. And this could be, this has this cognitive dissonance. Oh, that whole time, never fluttered once, and I can't say cognitive dissonance. There it is when you hold the belief in your head and your actions prove otherwise. You cannot function like this. This is not going to set you up for success. So again, the last prompt of the day is, did you live up to your values? And it's okay if you didn't. This is not a pass-fail, like 75 hard. When you fail, you have to reset back. No, life happens. You're going to fall off the wagon. And just like they tell you in AA or any sort of sobriety, it's not falling off that matters. It's how fast you get back on. That is where progress happens. So that is my item for you this week. That was a lot for you. You can go back, re-listen to this whole episode, and just pick one of those. We'll run through it again. You're going to prime your morning. You're going to have that statement. You're going to have, I am the type of person who blank. 1 win for the day. And then your 3 minutes of either breath work or visualization. 2, break a pattern, do something different. 3, micro adversity. What's something that you don't want to do, but it needs to be done. 4, your 1% mover, moving towards your goal, that 14 minutes and 24 seconds of your day. Then that brings us to number 5, your reflections. What went well today? What didn't go so well today? And then lastly, did you live up to your values? Did you live your standards of who you are trying to become? Okay. Woo! Yes! If you can talk for 17 minutes about anything, you could give a keynote on it. And I am feeling so yes. Okay, I love that. I am so happy to be in your earballs right now, people. You have no idea. For those 6 of you that still come back every week, it's pretty crazy. I mean, pretty consistent. I don't know who you are, but I love you. And we're growing together. All right, that's enough for today. I am going to go home and snuggle with my babies. All right, until next week, do something different, break a pattern, do a micro adversity, write something down in a journal, move towards who you want to become. We got this. We're going to do it together. I'll see you next week. Peace.
We got 4 and a ghost and stories and you were little, Papa.
Yeah, I heard some ghost stories when I was little.